I know they gonna think it's crazy, but I put this before any job. I put my music and my career and all that before any job. Why would I put my all into that, but I'm not putting my all into the music? You see what I'm saying? And that's how people just become complacent and they just be working and shit forever. And that's how they want you to think, and I ain't gonna think like that. You see what I'm saying?
To the people, let the people know who you is. You know, finally got you on here.
I mean, shit, my name Pia, or shit, my rap name PB3. I got the LLT in front of it for my boy Tato that passed. Shit, I'm from Chicago Heights, whatever you want to say. Shit, suburbs, city, whatever. I'm from everywhere. So.
Well, that's one of the questions I was just gonna ask you. Where you from? Let people know where you from. Your backstory.
Shit, I'm from like I said, I'm from like everywhere. I was born in Harvey, but shit, I was living, you know, in the Heights, been back and forth from the city to the burbs all around. So, but I claim the Heights. That's where I'm from. So that's why I stayed at the most. So if people ask me where I'm from, I say I'm from the Heights. Unless I'm like out of town or something, they don't know what Heights said. I just say Chicago. It's all the same shit.
Do you think it's a problem being from the suburbs?
Not really. Like we was just talking about that earlier. Like south suburbs, it's a whole completely different ballgame from like the north suburbs. But you know, when you out of town, you hear the word suburb, you think like nice houses and. But if you go somewhere like Harvey, Chicago Heights, you know them not know your average, them not your average suburbs. So shit, you can say what you want, shit. But you know, a lot of people try to tell you you're not from Chicago if you're from the suburbs. But it's all the same shit, really. Same people, everybody that's in the suburbs came from the city. Like everybody, if either you or your parents, y'all was from the city, or y'all came to the suburbs. So it's the same shit.
Like so, you was raised in the Heights.
Yeah.
So you was from the city though, hearing that, right?
Yeah, hearing that back and forth. I don't never claim it though, cause you know I ain't go to school out there. So you know how people is. What school you went to? If you ain't go to school out there, then you ain't from the city. So I always went to school out here. Even when I was in the city, I was coming to school out here. So shit, you know.
Let me know a little bit about your backstory. Cause you was raised.
You know, just my mama. Yeah. My mama and my 3 brothers, so she has raised 4 boys by herself. My father, he passed like right before I was born and shit, so I didn't ever get to meet him. So it was just my mama, my brothers. That's why we did a lot of moving around. Shit, we might need more space, and then we might need less space, because it's just a lot of us. So we just moved around. I went to hella schools. Like that's why I know so many people. I went to so many schools.
What school did you go to?
Shit. Like if I can name, let me see. I went to Perry Hills, I went to Sauk, I went to Sauk View, I went to Richie's for high school. I can't even remember the rest of the schools I went to. It was so many, cause like it was a point in time I was going to a different school every school year. So then once I got to high school, it was like I started seeing everybody that I knew from all these other schools. But it's just like I can't even really name all the schools I went to because it's been so long. Some schools I only went to, I was only going there for like half of a school year, and then we got to move again, go to another school. So that was back before you had phones. So all your friends and shit, you meet their ass, you ain't never see their ass again. So I went to so many schools, bro. It don't make no sense.
Yeah. Like what made you want to rap?
Shit, I always I got my brothers and stuff, so they always rap. My brothers, my cousins, and all of them. Even my mom used to rap a little bit. So
yeah, I heard you say that in another interview.
Yeah. So my mom used to rap, but she wasn't taking it serious. But my brothers and them, they always took it serious, and they came up from like the CD selling era and shit. So yeah, so it's like, and everybody was always older than me, so I always was like listening to like old school like rapping music, like when they just straight rapping, none of the the extra stuff. So I always felt like I could do it, but I was just doing other stuff. I wanted to play sports and all that. I ain't really know.
I knew you listened to all the rap, like the old school stuff, and all your music, I could tell.
Yeah, like
you
I
had
always
a whole bunch of like samples.
Yeah, like I had a lot of samples or like recited like lyrics or like a hook or something like that I got from somebody older. Like I listen to a lot of older music, so that's what made me really want to rap for real. Cause then I just got older and I was like, man, all these rappers kind of weak, like. So it just made me want to rap, like. And now I always shout out my boy Ryan that had me, who made me want to start rapping for real. So he pushed that out of me. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna just start rapping.
So who was Ryan?
His rap name Rashid, but he was in African American Culture Club with me in high school, and I used to do these little poems and stuff. And he was like, "Man, your poems sound like raps." So one day he just played a beat. He was like, "Spit your poem over this beat," and it sounded cold. So from there we was just rapping. And then like a year later, when I first got in the studio, he was the first person to take me to the studio. He told me he was gonna go somewhere else. He like, "Nah, we going to the studio." So yeah, now I do the same shit to other people. Yeah, so now I do the same shit to other people because everybody, when you first start off want to do something, everybody always got this point where they want to do it, but they don't really know where to get started and how to do it and just jump into it. So I'm like, so he just made me jump into it. So I do the same shit to everybody else. Like they be like, they always come to me like, I want to start rapping, but I don't know where to start, or I want to start doing this. I would just tell everybody, shit, jump into it. So that's how he got me started.
That's kind of how you
I was just about to say like that because I remember you was telling me you wanted to shoot videos and shit, and we was doing the photo shoot. I'm like, fuck it, we can shoot the video right here. You was like, I don't know if I'm ready. I'm like, fuck that shit, we finna shoot the video. And then
playing the songs off the phone.
I remember.
Going anywhere.
Yeah, and then like when I was telling you could shoot other people's videos, I was like, cause you just started. So I'm like, you ain't gonna want to charge. You was like, man, I could charge like that. I'm like, man, fuck that. You charging their ass $300. you finna shoot that, now your ass shooting videos. And I do the same shit to everybody else, bro. I swear to God, you're not the only person. Everybody always come up to me like, I got a best friend. She want a model. She be, I don't know where to start. I'm like, man, fuck that. You just start. That's the best way to do it. Is just jump into it. Cause if you keep waiting until the time right, bro, you ain't gonna never get started.
Yeah, that's true. Once you lose the motivation for it, you don't even want to do it no more.
Yeah, you don't even want to do it because life gonna keep going on. You don't wait for nobody. Shit, you fuck around, have a kid or some shit. That shit gonna stop your whole little thing. I be noticing that shit like when I be at my jobs and stuff. Like I don't work no job now, but when I was working in like these warehouses and stuff, like people always tell you about what they wanted to do or what they was finna do or some shit. But time kept going on. They done had kids or they stopped. They went to school or some shit, and they ain't never get started. So
you had worked at Amazon, right?
Nah, I ain't working at Amazon. I was working at Walmart factory, and then I was working at this pasta factory and shit. I learned a lot from working jobs. I'm not gonna lie. I learned that I never want to work a job ever again or work for nobody. Cause when I remember the first day, my first time I ever worked a job, I walked in there. The first thing somebody ever said to me, she said, you just getting out of high school? I said, yeah. She said, it's all downhill from here. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of a sad way to look at life. But you gotta think shit, a lot of they ass, they just work like they don't know nothing else but go to work. So it's like, I told myself I gotta have better than that. And when I got my first check, that's when I first knew about taxes, some shit they ain't teach us in school. I'm like, damn, Ma, this shit ain't adding up. She like, yeah. My mama, cause she worked since she was 14. She used to work for Park District when she was a little kid for Chicago Park District. And then she was like, yep, now you gotta, she basically saying like, this is gonna be your life for the rest of your life. You gonna work. I'm like, that's something like I just learned from experience. Like that's how everybody else look at life. Like shit, you just here to work a job, and I'm like, hell no, I gotta do something better than that. I gotta do something better. I can't live my life like that. This water for people, you know.
Well, since you just brought it up, I want to talk about how you say you don't drink, or you don't smoke.
Nah, hell nah. I just never wanted to. Like I ain't gonna lie. The only time I ever like drunk something was on accident, and then I thought that was the most nastiest thing in the world, and I spit that shit up. And then like smoke, I just never wanted to. Like it ain't really no big reason. I just never wanted to. Like
you ever tried it?
No, the only time I've ever been high was somebody drugged me. My homie gave me a Rice Krispie treat. I thought that was a real, cause we just got done hooping. I'm hungry. I eat anything at this point. So we just got done hooping. Took a shower. I got in the shower. They in that bitch snacking and shit. He get everybody a little piece. He know I don't smoke, so he give me the biggest piece. I didn't know that you're not supposed to eat like a big, but I didn't know it was a Rice Krispie treat. I'm talking about that bitch is fat as hell. I thrashed that bitch. I just got done hooping. I'm hungry. I don't remember shit else from that day. I swear to God, I don't remember nothing else. That was the only time I ever been high. And I was like, yeah, I do remember I was cussing somebody out on the phone. I was on the phone with somebody. I'm like, bitch, stop fucking playing with me. And they laugh and they all know I'm high, and I'm the only one that don't know I'm high.
Wait, so you like paranoid? You like paranoid high?
I don't know. I just never been high. That was my only time I've been high, so I don't know what the fuck. I don't remember shit, but I remember me being on the phone with somebody, cussing their ass out. But that was the only thing I remember about that whole night. I woke up, and they all just looking at me, laughing and shit. I'm like, damn, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I woke up. Oh man, fuck them niggas though. But that's the only time I ever been high.
So you'll never do it again, never.
Nah, and that ain't even really why I don't smoke. I just never wanted to. But I just shit. I don't know. You never know. It might come a day I might, but I just never wanted to.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, bro.
Because honestly, there's a lot of people out here nowadays make music about smoking, drinking, all that. You don't do none of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't do none of it. I don't even talk about none of
That
it.
should be. That's definitely be inspiring. Right?
Oh me, shit. Hell yeah, but it ain't no problem. I just don't do this shit.
Alright, so musical influences.
Oh yeah.
Like when you started rapping, like what made you want to rap? You said your brothers rap, your mama rap.
Yeah, my brothers and all them. But like, that made me want to start for real was like this one. I was listening to J. Cole heavy, like I was like on some conscious J. Cole shit. Like I was listening to that Cole shit, but he kind of like brought it to where it's like you could talk about like consciousness shit, but like in a gangster type of way. And then him and like Meek Mill and all them. So no, I put like all my shit together. Like my homie, he called it like trap conscious music. That's what he called my type of music, cause it's like I could talk about that J. Cole type shit, but at the same time I could talk about that Herb type shit, cause I think that really come from like my background. Like I done lived in like the nicest, well not the nicest, the worst areas, but I done went to school in the nicest areas, or I done been around the nicer areas. So it's like I can got a little bit of the both where I can talk about some shit. So I'm like, yeah, that was like my influence, like J. Cole. And then now, like, well, Jay-Z, of course. Jay-Z, most definitely, like, when it comes to, like, the business and all that shit, most definitely Jay-Z, because his ass, like, now I'm more on some Jay-Z shit now, because I'm low-key trying to, like, shy away from music and be, like, on the business part. So, yeah, because, like, the rap, I don't really want to rap forever, though. Like, I don't want to rap forever, because I'll be noticing there's more money in the other shit than the rap, though. The rap is, like though.
To get the name out.
Yeah, it's to get, that's what I'm saying. So it's like when I really gain my platform for real, like it's gonna be like all business. Like,
alright, so what type of business are you trying to do?
See, at first, like I think I wanna have artists for sure, but like my other businesses is gonna be shit that don't have nothing to do with music like at all. But I just need to get the platform and the money so I can do this shit. Cause like the rap, when you doing rap, it's like, I don't know, that shit, damn, folks. It's like when you doing rap for, it's like your style of music not gonna be popular forever. So you gotta think of something that you gonna do. It's like just like the NBA players, like you can't play basketball forever. So it's like after your style not popping no more, you gonna have to find some type of way to make that money. You gonna do real estate or whatever the case is. You gonna sign people or whatever. So it's like that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about after the fact right now.
So you already started a little bit. You got your brand.
Hell yeah.
Young OG brand.
Hell yeah. I got that shit.
When you make that? When did you make that?
When did I make that shit? Cause when I first got out of high school, I had some other shit that I was doing, but I ain't like it. So it was called merch trademark or some shit. MTM, but yeah, nobody know about that shit. That shit, it was the decent ass logo or some shit, but I ain't even put that shit out. I ain't ever even show nobody.
Damn.
Cause I'm like, shit, everybody go through that shit. When they first think of some shit, they think it's the greatest shit in the world. After the fact, you like, nah, this shit kinda whack. So I thought of the Young OG shit. I liked how it went. So I was like, I'm gonna put that shit out. But now I'm going through another like trial and error phase. Like, all right, I don't know if I'm gonna shut it down and rebrand it. Cause every time I shut myself down and rebrand it, I always come back better. Like same thing with music. Like I was just putting the music out. I wasn't like doing shit with it. I was just making music and dropping it, making music and dropping it. Then I had shut all that shit down, stopped making music for a little bit. And it came back with a whole new plan, like buying my beats and promotion and all that shit. So now it's like, now I'm about to shut that shit down again and come back again. Like,
so you not rapping right now? Or you taking a hiatus?
Yeah, like, cause I'm finna move now. I'm finna move to Houston, so I gotta get myself together out there. But I'm gonna shut that shit down, and then I'm gonna come back. Like, cause right now it's like a lot of stuff that I could do that I ain't doing. So I'm gonna make sure I own all my music, make sure I'm getting paid. Like everything I do, I wanna make sure I'm getting paid. Like, cause I got paid off of like I got like a big check. It wasn't a big check, but it was a big enough check to show you that like, hey, that shit can come through. Yeah, it was like $600-700 or some shit like that.
What was this? This was for the hood?
This was for all the music that I put out. This is like and this was just for like the month of December only. Cause before that I was getting like $10 checks, $20 checks, little shit. I had got it, like my first ever check was like 32 cents. So my last shit, it was like a $32 check. Then the next one was 600 something. So I'm like, oh, that shit real now. Like that shit can come through now. So I'm like, all right. And it went straight to my account. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, now I know. I'm gonna just keep doing that shit and make sure I'm making the right moves and stuff. So, cause a lot of people that be making the right moves, they don't be owning their beats and all that shit. Cause the whole point, you trying to get the money, you trying to blow up, and you would hate to blow up and your shit get taken off the internet.
Cause I know at first you started off doing a lot of freestyles. And, you rapping over, I seen like some Dirt, some Herb back in the day.
My homie had told me, he was like, shit, when I first started, I was doing a lot of remixes and shit. Like, I wasn't doing none of my own beats. So he was like, shit, you cold on remixes, but he was like, I don't know if you can rap on your own beats. Like, can you make your own song? And you know, that Michael Jordan me, he was like, and I took that personally. So it was like, I started making my own shit. Like, I didn't rap on no instrumentals and none of that shit. Like, even now, I try not to rap on no instrumentals, but I noticed that's what a lot of rappers do when they first start off. They don't really know their own sound, so you just going off another motherfucking sound. So, but now I kind of got my own little sound.
That's good. A lot of people they stay in that remix lane. It holds them down.
Yeah, that shit, cause you gotta have your own little flow, your own sound, your own beats, on everything. Now I'm trying to work on tours, like not buying beats off of YouTube, just getting my own shit made. Like that's what I'm trying. Yeah, like get my own shit. So, cause if you don't buy the exclusive shit, like with the Meek Mill shit, if you don't buy the exclusive shit and you don't pay like the crazy amount they want you to pay to take that shit off the internet, somebody else can have your shit and they can use your shit.
I see now, cause you just mentioned the Meek Mill stuff. I was gonna get into that later. But yeah, so since you mentioned it, you know, you did a song, it was Thug Cry.
Yeah.
That was a song, and you know, you got that beat off YouTube, right?
Yeah, I bought that.
You bought it, right?
Yeah, I bought it.
And Meek Mill
used the motherfucking beat.
I say, lately I've been smoking on the runs. I don't want to hear you once. Lost 2 uncles in a month. Had 2 viewings, went to 1. And I apologize for smoking. The simple fact I didn't come.
Used to be on Instagram. And
yeah, everybody going crazy.
It was going crazy, though.
Yeah. But what? Huh?
There's a lot of engagement with that.
Yeah, and when I first bought the beat, like it didn't have that many views. I only had like a couple thousand views. And this is a long ass time ago, like probably when he first uploaded this shit. So then when he dropped this little freestyle, now I look, that motherfucker got like 3-4 million views now. And I'm like, damn, now it's hella people. I keep seeing hella people make songs to that shit. And I'm like, if I would have just bought the exclusive, like the $100 version, they would have just took it off the internet and nobody would have used it.
Yeah, so you just bought a lease?
Yeah, I just bought a little cheap little lease, like $30, $40. So it's enough that I could upload my song and make my money off of it. But so it's like, yeah, so it's like it ain't really nothing I could do.
How did you feel that? Did you feel like?
Yeah, cause
was you thinking like Meek Mill was looking at me or like?
Oh no, cause the song that I made, I kind of sampled some of like one of his songs. So it was like, but it was like some of the shit that he was saying, it sounded similar to the shit that I was saying. So I'm like, but the only reason I thought it was suspicious because one of his fan pages, like a verified fan page, had followed me right before he dropped that shit. And then when I said, I'm like, damn, Richard, Meek, and then Meek Mill followed that fan page. I'm like, oh, I ain't really think much of it. I'm like, oh, that's crazy, because I fuck with Meek Mill. Then the next day I see that freestyle. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm like, I don't know if it's coincidence or some other shit. I'm like, that shit was kind of wild, how that shit worked. I'm like, Meek Mill followed this page, and they follow me, and they liking posting shit. So then next day he come out with a freestyle, the same beat. I'm yeah. But I fuck with Meek Mill though, so I ain't really think much of it.
Back to your beginning a little bit. So
yeah.
What was your first song?
My first song, Quiet Storm.
That was the first song ever?
Yeah, that was the first song I ever made. I made that bitch in the studio and dropped that bitch the next day. I think my uncles and them, like, cause they old and shit, they love that shit. Like, man, that shit was so. And I looked at, I can't even listen to that shit.
It's cause
the beat. Yeah, and that's the type of music I used to listen to. Like, I used to just listen to old school music. Like, that Quiet Storm, that's my mama's favorite song. So that's her favorite song, Quiet Storm, with Lil' Kim and all them on that. So she loved that song, so I'm like, I gotta remix this shit. Cause I fuck with that song heavy too, so I'm like, I was remixing hella old school songs. But shit, god damn.
Back to it, you was talking about Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
And had one of your favorite songs.
Yeah, like my favorite. It might be my favorite like old school song. Like I really fuck with that song. I fuck with the whole like old school New York vibe, like the whole New York scene. Like when they really started the whole rap shit. So I fuck with
like Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I fuck with Wu-Tang, Nas, Jay-Z, shit. Like anybody from like Brooklyn and Queens and all that shit, I fuck with that shit heavy cause that's when rap was first started. So it was like you ain't know what lane motherfuckers is gonna take from that. So it was just raw. It was just raw rap. Like I really fuck with it. It was real shit. It was talking about real shit they was really doing. Talking about like politics and all type of stuff they was talking about. So I fuck with it.
So is that something you would ever get into, like politics?
Hell nah. I'll fuck some shit up trying to do politics. Yeah, nah, it'll be. But I don't know, shit.
I mean, you got people like, I ain't think Lil Baby would have did something like that.
You talking about like some music type shit?
Yeah, music. Nah.
Yeah, I thought you talking about like running for the Senate or some shit. Hell no. Yeah, probably some shit like that. I don't know. It had to really be raw. Like, I was just telling one of my homies, like, if I made a song like that, it'd have had, like, I'm not gonna make it like the typical corny. Like, it's gonna be real problems that we see, but I'm gonna talk about it in a way that only I know I can talk about. So I ain't gonna, but shit, I do some shit like that.
Matter of fact, actually, you already,
yeah, I kind of did, yeah. That song, it was kind of something like that, but I didn't focus the whole song on it, but. Yeah.
Was it kind of inspired?
Yeah, it was most definitely inspired by that though, for sure. Cause I made that song right around the time everybody was looting and all that shit. So it was like the inspiration was right there. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do that. That was crazy. Shout out on that cover art too. That was the best cover art I done had so far. Like that shit.
That's one of my favorite cover arts that I did.
Most definitely that makes me I fuck with it, bro.
The thing is about that cover art, like
I feel like that should have been a tape cover art or something.
All the little fists on there,
yeah.
I like took them in my room. Like,
yeah?
Yeah, that's what's funny to me.
Yeah, that shit is cold.
How often do you get influenced by a lot in your music?
Shit, it's just what I go through.
In the moment?
Yeah, it's like me in the moment. Like that's why it be taking me so long to write songs, because I don't want to force no song. Like I might think of 4 songs in 1 week, I might think of 4 songs in a month. Like it depends on just what I'm seeing and what I'm around. What's going on in my life? Shit, that be, cause I don't be having no like relationship problems, no shit like that. That's why I don't be having no relationship music. I be having like that toxic shit, but I don't be having that, you know, that love song shit. Unless
You got a few.
I got some love songs.
The block list.
That's the toxic shit. That ain't really no love song shit. Like if you hear the shit I'm saying, I ain't really got no shit like that, cause I don't be.
Yeah, it ain't love.
Yeah,
it's definitely
it's some shit like that, you know.
Shit.
But that was some shit that I had to force together to make my shit different, so people don't get bored with one type of sound. Like everything that I've been dropping been some different shit. So when I drop this new tape that I'm finna drop, it's like it's gonna be completely
it's all different shit.
all different shit, turned up shit, that rap shit, that other shit. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
You know, with your music, I like to actually sit there and listen to it.
Yeah.
Like I think you said this a while ago. Like you don't like sending your music to people.
Yeah.
You don't want them to just listen to it. On the phone, you want them to listen to it like on the street platform.
Yeah, because that's how you gonna get paid. Like that's why I tell people stop sending your music to people. I was just telling this to one of my other homies, because he was like, I'm finna send a song to song, this. I'm like, bro, we losing the streams like that. He like, how? It's only 5 people. No, if you send it to 5 people, you're not losing 5 streams. If them 5 people listen to your shit 100 times each, you feel me? You losing all them streams. Like if that's what I'm saying. Like if I listen to it 8 times, that's 8 streams. You're not just losing 1 stream. So when you send it and your homies want you to listen to their music, you gotta go stream they shit. Don't send them to it and they listen to it in their notes. That's why rappers be getting mad that their songs be getting leaked and stuff like that, because they not getting no streams off of that. You listening to it in your notes.
I know Biggie and Herb just had a big problem with that.
Yeah.
It's not like that no more.
Yeah, it's not. And then I noticed another thing is when people be recording in other studios, like you, especially famous people, you might be in New York one day, record here, record in LA one day. Them engineers just send your shit to whoever. Like they send their shit to like so they homies or some shit. Like I just had Herb in my studio, so they send their shit, then they send it to somebody else. So you losing thousands and thousands. You famous, they famous, so it's like you just losing thousands of streams like that. So I'll be trying to tell people the importance, do not send your songs to nobody. Tell them if they fuck with you and they fuck with your music, tell them to stream your shit. Don't listen to your shit and others.
When you first did your first Quiet Storm freestyle, how did people react to it?
Everybody fucked with it, but I knew everybody was gonna be like fake and be like, yeah, this shit the raw shit, yeah. So I'm like, but I ain't getting no bad reviews on it, and it was my first song, so it was like, I feel like it did decent at the time. But now I look at it, I'm like, this shit ass, so I can't listen to this shit. But everybody like it, like I said, my uncle and them, they loved it. Like he was just at the barbershop the other day talking about that shit. Like, man, this shit raw, man, this shit cold. So even the people my age are saying they fuck with it. So
it's a decent song, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it up there as one of your best so far.
It most definitely not. That shit might be one of the worst, goddamn. That shit, I can't listen to nothing. Anything that I made in like 2018, early 2019, I can't listen to none of it.
So what would you say is your favorite song that you got done?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. My favorite song is a song that I ain't even dropped yet. Like that's the song I was about to shoot in Atlanta. I ended up not shooting, but that's the song. It's the song. It ain't even dropped. It's gonna be called True Story. When I drop it, you gonna see why that's my favorite song that I ever made.
What would you say somebody else would say was that song?
Let me see. Let's see. My homies, they fuck with Going Through It. This is a song that I made. Shit, they fuck with that song. I got this other song on that block list shit called Kills. Everybody fuck with that song. That's some shit I made on some funny shit, but you know, I always let motherfuckers listen to it. They like, man, you need to drop this. So they punk me into dropping it. So shit, they say, but like the best song where I really was talking, I'm trying to see. Everybody like that Gurney House. That's why the song I made the most money off of. Like that shit real there, like just $500 that one song.
Just off that?
Just off that one song.
Good song.
Yeah, so I ain't even really like, you know what's crazy about that song? I thought of the lyrics to that shit while I was sleeping. So I'm like, I had to make that shit like I was asleep. And I don't know why the fuck them lyrics just popped up in my head, but I just woke up, I started writing that shit. Like that's a unique ass song that I made. But I be having people DM me about that shit like, man, I like that song, that shit cold. But yeah, the people would say them two like the best songs. Granny House, Going Through It, and they fuck with that Kills song too. So shit, them like the best songs.
Shit, I'm gonna say my favorite. I'm gonna say definitely what's that, Lil Nigga.
Oh yeah.
I think I text you about that.
You did?
How cold that shit was.
Yeah. Motherfuckers fuck with that shit too. I got a part 2 of that shit coming up on the tape.
I see.
That shit gonna be so cold. I ain't never been excited about a tape like how I am about this one, cause I put in the most work on this shit. Like the other tapes is like kind of like thrown together, but this shit, it's some shit on this bitch. Like you gonna be like, that's a whole different nigga on this one.
I'm waiting on it. I'm looking for that.
Oh, bro.
Alright, so the name LLT PB3.
Yeah.
The LLT part, that's got a significant meaning to you.
Yeah.
That's from a friend that passed away.
Yeah. So shit, we all got that shit like in front of our name. Like my homie Doe, he got LLT Doe on his shit. So when you hear my name, you hear his name. You hear his name, you feel me? You hear Tato's name too. So that's why we all got that shit on our name. And then another reason, like it's like a double, like why I have it is cause like when you type in my name, you type in PB3, it'd be hella other PB3s. So that's just something you could toss in front of it too, so people can know the difference between you and somebody else. The main reason why I got it though is cause, you know, long live Tato, so every time you hear my name, you hear his name.
I see you say how many of y'all that got the LLT at? How many of y'all that's rapping?
Shit, right now it's just me and Doe and Cap that's rapping right now. But we gonna have, oh yeah, my boy Shada, he rapping too, but yeah.
He on that December to December?
Yeah, he on that shit. Me and him got some shit that's coming out too.
Y'all going?
Well, that shit, all this shit coming, bro. It's coming. We all getting this shit together. Cause we don't want to rush nothing, so we gotta make sure our shit right.
Alright, so how many you got features for your upcoming tape? You got who you got?
I got my boy Vino on that bitch. My boy Low Key, he one of the coldest motherfuckers that's out for real. Like he probably like the best rapper coming out the far south side for real. Cause he's singing, rapping, all type of shit. Like he on that bitch. And then shit, I don't even remember what else on that. It's really down to just them two and my boy kept on that bitch. Cause I just switched the track list up so many times. There was so many people on there. I ended up taking them off, putting more people on there, putting other songs on there, taking songs off, putting songs off. So I never know. I might change that motherfucker up tomorrow. Like that's why it just get better and better. Cause the first songs that I started off with like 10 songs. Now it's like 15. But I keep taking them, like it ended up, it was 12 songs. I had 20 songs at one point. I was finna put a deluxe out, but I was like, nah, I shaved all them off. And so it was like, I got so many features on that I got, like just in my notes. So I don't know who the fuck I want to put on this shit.
That's not bad.
Yeah, cause there's so many people that want to fuck with me on the music. So yeah. So this shit gonna be crazy though.
So you feel good about that? When you notice that people just start fucking with your music some more?
Yeah, a little bit, but at the same time, I ain't the type to really get too excited about stuff. But it be just, sometimes it be annoying because it be motherfuckers that I didn't even know how to rap. I didn't even know rap that be trying to do songs. Like, they don't have no songs out of nothing. Like, they be like, y'all want to do a song? I'm like, I don't even know how you sound. Like, sometimes it gets annoying, but sometimes it be cool. Like, when I got my homies and shit that rap, like I get a song with them any day, like anytime. But like these other people that I don't be knowing, like they like, let's get a song together. Like I don't even be knowing y'all. Y'all might try to set me up or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, send it over to you.
Yeah, I mean.
I see. Is there any people you do want to work with though? Some any Chicago artists?
I'm trying to see. Cause really a lot of these people out here, they stuck on like the drill wave, and I ain't really trying to make that type of music. Like I don't even like making that type of songs. So that's all the shit that everybody be talking about. So I'm trying to make some songs with people that make different shit. Like I got my homie Blake, he be singing and shit. I'm gonna do a song with him. I want to make sure I get that shit done because he cold as hell, and he got a podcast too. I can't even remember the name of it. I wanted to shout it out, but. His little not them. Blake, I think his artist name is Dupree or something like that. Oh, Humble and Bougie, that's what it is. Humble and Bougie, yeah. So that's his podcast. So shout that out. But I want to do a song with him, and then I'm trying to see everybody else I really want to do songs with. I got songs with already. But other than that, everybody else, I don't really want to fuck with them because they just making it just to make the shit. They ain't making that drill shit. I ain't really with all that.
Talk about your music. You talk about how you feel with the love. How you feel with like the hate?
That should be funny to me because there be people that I don't even think about why you got so much shit to say. But you just brush that shit out, especially when I always tell people, when you really doing something, like, and you just got your mind focused on some other shit, people gonna be hating, you don't even know that they hate. Like, yeah, that shit ain't even matter. Like, people always be living their life to flex on these people that's back here. Like, you stay looking back at them, you showing your money and all that. Once they see you doing shit, you on the planes, you doing videos, you doing shit like this, they gonna be hating, and it's like, you ain't gonna even fucking know. So it's like, I don't even care. It's probably people hating on me, I don't even know who the fuck they is. So it's like, I don't even care. I be laughing at that shit. I think that shit be funny, cause like in school and stuff like that, I ain't never had nothing to hate on. So it's like, why is being like successful making you a hater? Like when I was in school, like I didn't have like none of the newest shoes, I didn't have the newest game system, the newest phones. No, I done had shit for you to hate on me for. So now it's like, you got so much stuff to hate about. So it's like, that's how you know you really doing something, when you got people that just hating on you for no reason. So I just laugh at that shit. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even let the shit get to me, honestly.
A lot of people that see the hate, they'll respond to it, and they'll turn out, it'll be more than what it should be.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, and that's how a lot of people, because people be trying to prove they dominance, prove that they tough to a motherfucker, like, Yeah, try to. Yeah, and it be like people. Like and that shit don't even matter. Like I done had people in my comments saying dumb shit. Once they realize I'm not even responding to them, I done seen people delete comments, all type of shit. Like you just said some stupid shit. You want me to be like, all right, fuck nigga, pull up there, nigga, what? Like I'm not saying shit to you. Now you look stupid because you trying to fight me. But you arguing with yourself. Like that's what people gotta realize. Like once this motherfucker realize that he not even making a dent in your life, like he just gonna either give up or he just gonna be looking stupid. So it's like fuck it, what a hater got to talk about.
So you got 3 tapes, 4 tapes now. You got 4 tapes out.
Damn, do I? Yeah. I'm thinking like shit. I be just punching it out.
You got 3P.
Yeah.
You got Heartless.
Yeah.
Hood Cry. And
Blocklist. Blocklist, I just slapped that shit together. I feel bad that I didn't put that shit out.
I can tell it slapped together.
Cause I just threw some shit. I didn't even want to drop the shit. Like,
but it all got like a similar sound.
Yeah.
The last song was like all different.
I couldn't even tell you what songs was on that bitch. I ain't gonna lie. My homies was like, cause they like that weird toxic shit. Like they be like, man, fuck these hoes. Talking about that Future type shit. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna just put some shit like that. Just throw that shit on now. Like, so I just threw that shit together. Just so, cause you never know. Like I stopped holding shit that I didn't like, cause other people might like it. Like the songs that people that I don't like the song Granny House, them be the songs that be turning up the most. So I was like, shit, you gotta start putting shit out, even if you don't like it, cause you will never know who will like the shit.
I see that's something that you think other artists should try to do, is just like get the music out, even if.
Yeah, like don't just rush it, cause you might want to put it a part of a project or something like that. But if you just got some shit that just been sitting for a long ass time, shit, put it out. It's a stream, shit. Even if they don't like it or they do like it, that's still a stream. You still get paid. So even if they dislike it, whatever. Like if they hit the dislike button, it don't matter. It's still a stream. So shit, put that shit out. You'll never know who like it, bro. The songs, the weakest song that you think is the weakest song might be the song that blow up. So shit, you ain't no use to you keeping it in your notes. Drop that shit. That's why I tell everybody, drop that shit.
So you talk to your like the friends that got music, you tell them, like you encourage them to drop their music too?
Yeah, I be trying to, man, it's so hard getting people to just do shit. Like why don't you want to be successful? Like people be wanting to, like I got, bro, my homie Hot, this nigga got so many songs that he just never dropped. Like he just got so many songs. Like he just be making shit. Like I got a lot of homies that just be making shit, so I just try to influence them. Like don't just do what I did. Like I was doing dumb shit when I first started. I was just making shit, go to the studio today and dropping shit next day. So I be convincing them like, all right, don't do that shit. Get your cover art right. Buy your beat on your beat. So now they doing shit that I wasn't doing, even though they just started. So, but I be trying to convince them to really just do the shit the right way. And then shit, just then drop that shit right. Drop this shit the right way. Don't upload nothing yourself. Like put your shit out through a distributor so you can get paid. You see what I'm saying? So I'll be trying to get them to do the shit like that.
There's a lot of people that don't know about distribution.
Yeah, bro. The shit is.
How would you explain that for people like that?
Shit, like so a lot of people use DistroKid. I use United Masters, but you gotta own your beats. Like I say, you buy them leases, because at least even if you don't buy the exclusive, like $100 lease or whatever, if you buy the cheap lease, it'll still let you drop your shit. Like you don't want to go to the studio and make a song, and then you try to upload it. It won't even let you drop the shit at all. Like it won't let you upload it or nothing unless you bought that lease. So I be trying to tell people you gotta do that, and then just make sure your shit go through a distributor. So, cause they gonna put your shit, instead of you just uploading it personally through SoundCloud, then you upload it personally through YouTube, then you upload it personally through, it's gonna do all that for you, but you still gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna help you build your brand up, and you can put your music on a playlist. You can pay to get your shit promoted the right way. It's like uploading a picture. You upload the song like you upload a picture. And then, but you getting paid. So I'm trying to tell people to do it like the independent way, because it's not like back then in 2005 when you had to get signed and you had to get a deal to get on. You can stay independent and make your money like that.
Is that something you plan on doing, staying independent, or would you sign with a label?
Hell no. I don't know. It depends how good the deal is, but a lot of these labels, even the best deals it's still a deal. It's still like working for somebody. Like I say, I hate working jobs. I hate working for somebody. I hate having somebody else over me. So I feel like I'm trying to take like the Dame Dash, the Jay-Z type of direction. Like I say, I don't even want to rap forever for real. So like I'm gonna stay independent till I make my money. And then start my little businesses. I really want to be like a manager. I was telling my homies the other day, I want to manage y'all. Cause they be having all the right shit, but they don't be knowing like what to do. So, and I know like this generation, they want to hear like that turn up shit and that's the type of music they make. You know my type of music, you can't listen to that shit. You can't go to no party and listen to that shit all the time. I got a couple party songs, but you can't go to the party and listen to my shit. So I be like, I want to be like a manager so I can get them the game, because I sit up and I watch YouTube videos and do research all day about this shit, and they don't do that shit. So I just want to be able to tell them like, you know, do that, and I'm gonna be managing. You feel me? And I feel like they gonna be bigger than me. Shit. Oh, bro.
So you got so you real like you real
in it, like
inspirational.
Yeah.
Like you try to get a lot of people into to what they really want to do.
Yeah, I that's like my biggest thing. Like I always try to get people to do what they want, cause it's like people be so wrapped up in what somebody else want them to do, and I hated that shit. Like, cause my uncles and like my family members like that, cause I got like a Haitian, they Haitian, so you know they come from another country where they didn't have like college and shit like that. So they try to force you to do this and do that, even though it ain't for you. So I didn't like that shit. So, and that's what I realized. That's what a lot of people doing. They going to do stuff like school and shit like that, and then I know they really didn't want to do that shit for real. So I be trying to convince people like, bro, do what you want. Do what's gonna make you happy. Cause if you ain't happy, you're not winning. It don't matter if you a garbage man, but you happy, shit, you winning. Shit, if you own a business, but you're not happy, you're not winning, bro. So it's like, just do what's gonna make you happy. So I always try to convince people like, bro, go start that business, or start rapping, start acting, start doing modeling, start doing whatever you're gonna do. Cause shit, you only live once. You can't be living your life for somebody else. You gotta live your life for you. Cause I hate to be that person that be in that job. Like when I first started my job, like I told you earlier, it's all downhill from here. Like, I don't even want to look at life like that. I don't even think like that. So,
yeah. I see when you didn't go to college, did you?
Hell no. I hate college. I hate everything about school in general.
So would that be something you want, like say in the future, if you had kids, would you want them to be into that, or you inspire them to do
shit, what up? I want them to do whatever they want to do. If they want to go to school, as long as that's what you want to do and it ain't what somebody pushing you to do. Cause like I know I got a lot of people that think like if you don't go to college, you just not gonna be successful. I don't want them thinking like that. I'm gonna give them options like, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to be an actor, you want to rap, cause you know kids, they naturally want to do what they see their parents and stuff doing, so they might want to rap or they might want to play basketball. I just know whatever they want to do, then I'm gonna be all for it. Like my little brother, he played chess. I don't give a fuck about chess, but that's my little brother, so I gotta give a fuck about the shit. So I'm all for it. Like nigga, whatever you need, shit, we in it. If you need me to come to a chess match, we in that bitch. Like, as long as that's what you want, like whatever they want to do, I'm not gonna tell them fuck college. You don't need no college. If they want to go, then shit, I'm gonna let them go. But I wouldn't recommend the shit because it's like I ain't gonna get into it all of it. But I wouldn't recommend it because I don't really think that's what people. I don't know. I just think people just let society push them into going to that shit because I feel like they think like if I don't do that shit, then I ain't gonna be. You feel me? Because they ain't had nobody to tell them that you can be a rapper or some shit. Like I told my uncle I'm doing music. He like, what the fuck? Like music. Like then your brothers and them was trying to do music. They ain't make it. So you know they trying to put that insecurity shit on you. So.
Alright, so was that like how the initial reaction was when you like told them? But so did you tell? I
ain't never tell them. They found out through some other shit like Facebook. I don't have no Facebook, so I don't know how the fuck they found out. But they was just like, I don't know. They want me to just, I don't know. They want me to live how they lived. You know, like how black parents is. They try to like get you to feel like how they felt, like how they came up. So like my mama, she said she worked all her life. My uncle, he worked all his life. You know, so they trying to get you to like work. Like they want you to work, go to school, work, shit like that. So like they basically was telling me like, all right, you can do that, but you need to make the job, your main shit. And I'm not thinking like that, but I know they gonna think it's crazy, but I put this before any job. Like, I put my music and my career and all that before any job. Cause why would I put my all into that, but I'm not putting my all into the music, you see what I'm saying? And that's how people just become complacent and they just be working and shit forever. Cause they put that whole, you feel me, they put their job before their personal life. And that's how they want you to think, and I ain't gonna think like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how they had it, you know.
I want to talk to you because you say you used to be hooping.
Yeah.
You was hooping before you rap.
Yeah.
Like on team.
I ain't never make the motherfucking team because my grades was hella bad. The only time I could say I really didn't make the team because I wasn't that good was probably like 8th grade. But you know how basketball politics go and shit, you know. But motherfuckers that'll say, like, I ain't even trying to boost myself up, but I was, before I like started getting out of shape, I was pretty good. I wasn't the best, but I was really good for real. Like, anybody that know, like my homies them that was on the team, like they can vouch for me and be like, yeah, PB was really like that. But I wasn't the rawest nigga. Like, that's where the 3 came from, like in my name, because I used to really shoot threes for real. Like, everybody used to pass me by to shoot threes. I swear to God, I'm not making it up. I swear to God. That's what my name came. If you really want to know the real, I told you the real story. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but for the people that don't know the real story, like when I was shooting, I'ma just sum it up. I was in gym and I was shooting over this tall ass motherfucker that was just tall as shit. He was like 7 feet tall, and I was just shooting the ball over him, and that motherfucker was like, I'm just start calling you PB3. But that's what motherfuckers started calling me because I could just shoot threes like crazy. But I wasn't taking basketball that serious though. Like, I take music way more serious than I took basketball. I used to just hoop for fun. Like, I'd go to the gym and hoop. I'd go to the park. I'd leave the park and go to the gym. I'd leave the gym and go to the park. I used to just always hoop all the time. But I didn't really take it as serious how I took rap.
You still bust somebody ass today?
Oh, no, I'm out of shape like a motherfucker. But the jump shot never leave. Like, the jump shot never go away. But shit, I'm sore just from shoveling the snow, shit. So I know I'm gonna be fucked up trying to play basketball. But if I really got back in shape, I know I could still hold my own. But I can't be raw like how I was. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't raw as hell. Like, but I was cold enough to motherfuckers know like I got PB because I know he gonna score. Like I used to always like scoring was my thing. Plus, but another thing was I had asthma and shit. So that shit used to fuck with me, and motherfuckers used to think I'm trying to use that as an excuse. Like, people that don't have asthma is the most annoying people in the world because they don't know how bad asthma really is, folks. So when I be hooping, I be like, man, I'm tired as fuck. They be like, man, you be a bitch. But they don't really realize, like, that shit really will kill you for real, like, if you don't take it serious. So, on me, so that's another reason, like, I could not hold my own, like, the breathing wise, like, I get tired as fuck fast as hell.
Do the asthma ever get in the way of your rapping abilities? Or like when you perform?
Oh yeah, when I was performing, most definitely. So I had to realize, but I stopped doing shows though, cause I didn't think that shit was helping my career at all. But like when I'm in the studio, it most definitely, like I be seeing people that can just go through their whole verse without stopping. Like I cannot do no shit like that. I be having to do 2, 3, 4 lines. Pause, punch in. Like you can listen to it if you really listen to my shit. You can hear like I'm punching in, like I'm cutting myself off a little bit and then starting another line because I gotta really punch in for real.
Do you walk around? You got your pump with you?
Yeah, you gotta have it. I got that bitch with me right now. Like no, but like bro, take that shit serious. Anybody have asthma, take that shit serious. Cause when I was little, I used to never bring my shit, and that's when I used to be outside the most active, like. Before I really gave a fuck about what pollen and shit, all that shit was, like I used to just be out there blowing the little pollen leaves and shit. Dumb. Be, bro, out there. And I used to never bring my shit, so, but I was in intensive care for 2 weeks in the hospital because I was just fucked up, so.
If you ever had like a serious attack?
Yeah, I used to have asthma attacks like all the time, like it was just, like my mom would be like, damn boy, another one, god damn. Like that's before they took, when I was living in Heights and they took St. James. St. James was still open and shit. That motherfucker used to be like my house, like, cause it was the closest hospital, so I used to be there. But when I was little, I was at Chicago University Hospital. I was there for 2 weeks in intensive care. I had an IV in my arm. Like they thought it was over for my little ass, But you gotta keep that motherfucker on. I don't care how old you is, how gangster you is, whatever. Keep that motherfucker on you like you keep your gun on you, like you keep your phone on you. Keep that motherfucker on you. Cause that shit'll save your life.
Yeah, man, almost got to do all of it. I say, let's talk about like Chicago in general, the rap scene. Talk about the drill scene, and that's basically, you know, it can come from the violence in the city. You think it's at a point that the violence will end?
I don't think that shit will never stop. Yeah, but that's cause people it's just the way that we live. Like some people think the shit cool and some people really live like that. So it's like when people see people killing and stuff, like I'm about to tell you, like going to school in the suburbs, you got a mixture of people that come from like the hood and some people that come from nicer communities. So when you see people that they'll be talking like, why do y'all be killing and doing all this shit? But some people it's like, this shit is like for survival, like shit. Some people really gotta do that shit cause you can't get no job, you can't get no, you feel me, no good shit. So sometimes you gotta do that shit, you gotta rob a motherfucker. But it's like, if as long as people keep living fucked up, the violence gonna always be there because people ain't got no money and people, you know, I ain't justified, I'm just saying like, a lot, especially like in the city, shit be passed down. So it's like, you might not ever seen that person ever, but you know his people don't like your people. So you can't be like, oh no, Black Lives Matter, I'm not gonna shoot you. He gonna smoke your ass. Like you gotta, cause he thinking the same shit. He thinking like, damn, I gotta get him before he get me type shit. So it's like, that's how it be like, bro. I don't think it's gonna ever end. Like the best thing that can happen is you make it out and take some people with you, and they make it out. They take some people with them. But
I see it. I know a while ago you talked about you wanted to do like you want to make like a community center.
Yeah, cause I used to work this. I was working at the little community center where I'm from and shit. Well, not where I'm from, but in Park Forest, that's next to the Heights. But I didn't notice how many kids from Chicago Heights was staying. Cause when I was going to Richie's, I never took the bus. I used to either walk or ride the bike back to the Heights. So I used to get a ride or something. But I didn't know it was a bus that came. So all the kids would stay, like from the Heights, they would stay in the after school program all night until like maybe like probably like 6, 7 or something. Or like if they had a basketball game, they'd take like the 9 o'clock bus or some shit back to Chicago Heights. And I ain't noticed like how many kids like really didn't have nowhere to really go for real after school. Like and then like the days we'd be closed, cause we used to think that people didn't really care about our program for real. But the days when we'd be closed or some shit, we'd just be like, fuck it, we don't wanna do the program today. Kids be like, damn, what was y'all at yesterday? Like we was outside, we ain't had shit to do. Or we'd be riding around the community, seeing a lot of kids, they just ain't doing shit. People calling the police on the kids, cause they, you know, might be outside fighting or some shit. But I noticed how important the after school program really is to a community. Like instead of you got kids scattered out all over the place, you worry about anything could happen to them. You got them all right here playing basketball or something like that. And shit, I feel like that built a lot of relationships with the kids and with the staff that was working there. Like we'd have had kids coming out, they fought. We'd have had so many fights. Like people just be fighting, but next day they cool, cause you know you coming in here to hoop every day. So this the safe haven. Like you come in here, y'all fight or whatever. And we used to always be like, shit, we rather have them fight in here than fight out there, cause out there they gonna call the police on you, or they gonna put you in jail or some shit. You fight in here, we know we all like family. We seeing the same people coming here every day to hoop.
So we finna wrap this up in a little bit, but I want to talk about how you stay motivated in music and what's your drive to keep going.
Shit. Progress. Long as you keep making progress, even though if you think you're not making progress, when you look back on what you was doing and what you doing now, you're gonna be like, damn, like I came a little far. Like that's how I be looking, like damn, I'm not famous or nothing yet, but it was like when I look back on how much what I was doing, I was earlier, what I was saying, like I was just making shit, dropping it. Now I'm not doing that no more. Now I wasn't on my beats, now I'm on my beats. I wasn't making no money, now I'm making money. I was doing shows and shit for no reason, like wasn't really doing shit. I'm not doing that shit now. So now it's like, now I'm onto the business stuff. I'm onto, you know, I just learned a lot of stuff. So when you do that, like progress is what's gonna keep you going like that. When you just see that you did something, you be like, you might look back like, damn, I really shocked myself. Like taking planes. I never been on the plane until last year. I got on my first flight. Since then, I've probably been on 6, 7 flights already. Like A lot of them was for music. Like I went somewhere to shoot a music video. I went somewhere to do a show. I went somewhere to do another music video. Like,
you went on tour.
yeah.
Tour with LLT, right?
Nah, that shit ended up getting canceled cause that's what right around when COVID shit happened. But right before that, I had went to do a show in Denver. And then, yeah, I'm going places I ain't never been. Like that shit, that's what's keeping me motivated. Like I be looking back like, damn, I would have probably never been to Colorado for no reason ever. But cause like a lot of people go there to smoke, but like I said, I don't smoke, so it would have never been a reason for me to go there. But when I went there, I liked it. It was different. I went to Green Bay. I probably would have never went there before, but I went there. The shit was alright, but it was different. So that progress gonna keep you going. Like that shit gonna keep you motivated for real. And then just look at your situation now. Like, do you really want to keep living how you living now? Hell no. Like I hate going to work. I hate going to jobs. I hate working for people. That's what keep me going. Like I hate having a boss. I never even call people boss. Like you don't want to have no boss forever. So that's what's gonna keep me going.
About time guess is done.
Me finally, goddamn it. Talk about some good shit.
Oh yeah, so it's been like an hour, hour some change. But you know,
I feel like it's some more shit I could have talked about, but I ain't think of it.
but you know, we ain't gotta leave this shit.
Let me see. I want to.
Yeah, if there's anything you really want to talk about,
Trying to see. I was going. Let me see. It was something about school I wanted to say. Cause I be talking about this shit, and people be asking me like, cause I be really getting people to think about the shit. Like they be like, damn, I ain't never thought of it like that.
so why did you make school so much?
Cause they fucking suck. No, I'm just playing. I know, but look, like when I was in high school, I hated school because I was like, my mom and them, they used to just make me hate school just because they used to punish me for shit. Like they used to never want to help me with shit. They used to be like you can't whip the answers into somebody, you feel me? So I used to be like, man, they made me hate school. But the reason I realized like a lot of this shit you don't need, but a lot of people say that, but they still be going. But I realized like, damn, why don't schools teach us what we supposed to know? And then I realized like, damn, that'll hurt them because the people that run the schools, right? They not gonna give you all the information that you need to know to be successful because they want you to like live in between these lines. They want you to go to school and work a job. You see what I'm saying? So like they're not gonna teach you about no money. They're not gonna teach you how to make money. They're not gonna teach you how to save. They're not gonna teach you where to put it at. Because what's gonna happen is every year you're gonna get a graduating class of people that's gonna know everything they need to know about how to survive, right? So they gonna have their own businesses. They're not gonna spend no money on their colleges, so they're not gonna make no money like that. And they gonna have their own businesses and corporations. They're gonna take over their corporations and all that shit. So they're not gonna really teach you all that shit. You know, they just want you to be a part of the working class. And I realized that like, damn, all this school shit is just really just for you to graduate. You spend a lot of money in school, graduate, and just be a part of the working class. And I don't like to work. Like I don't like to be I don't want to say slave, but I don't want to have no, boss and no shit. So it's like a lot of this shit was just really set up for you to be a part of the working class. And I just feel like I want to live my life on my own time. I don't want to have nobody lay out my shit for me. So it's like people complain about why schools don't never teach us this, why they don't teach us about, all the shit that you need when you get out of school. They're not going to teach you that shit because they don't want you to know all that shit. They want you to know just enough so you can get a piece of paper. You could think this piece of paper is the best thing in the world for you to still get a job. Like when I graduated high school, I had a job paying me $22 an hour. Motherfuckers going to school to make that fucking much. And if I would have stayed there for 6 months, I was gonna get paid $35 an hour. But you gotta think, to a multi-billion-dollar corporation, that ain't shit. But they want you to think that's some shit. So I just feel like I hate this. It's more reasons why I hate the shit. Cause it's just like, first off, that they be, especially with all this COVID shit, I feel like they doing the people bogus that go to school. Cause they doing these online classes and all that shit, stressing their ass out. But long story short, these schools really don't give a fuck about you. These corporations don't give a fuck about you. They just want you to live in between these lines that they set out for you. So you just gotta jump out the fishbowl.
That's kind of how the world works.
exactly how it works. So you just gotta jump out the fishbowl and do what you want. Like I said, do what you want to do. Don't do what somebody else wants you to do, cause you doing what somebody else gonna want you to do. That's gonna have you in a fucked up situation. You gonna look up like, damn, I'm 50. I ain't never do that shit I wanted to do. I ain't never try to rap or try to act or try to do none of that shit. I just live by somebody else's code. That's what I'm not trying to do. Shit, that's it. Oh,
You got that off your chest?
I've been got it out, but I be telling that shit to people all the time, and they be like, damn, I ain't never thought of it like that. I be like, bro, but what I be telling people is like, once you realize all these jobs and shit, that shit just there for you to, you feel me? Like they want to be. Once you realize that shit, then you gonna be a step ahead of the game, because a lot of people will never realize that jobs and shit don't really get no fuck about you. They gonna think that going to work every day is cool, and working a job and getting a check every week. They think that shit is cool because you getting paid a certain amount. But a lot of people don't realize they'll fire your ass and hire another motherfucker the next day. You feel me? A lot of people don't realize this. So once you realize that and really look at that shit, you gonna be like, damn, you gonna be ahead of the game, because a lot of people ain't gonna never realize. I noticed that shit working at a job. They was using my young ass. I was young as hell, coming out of high school. I'm thinking this sweet. I'm working overtime, breaking my back, slinging boxes and shit. I'm thinking like, oh, they fuck with me. They giving me overtime. They making so much money, per pallet or whatever. And you making them, you staying an extra hour. What's an extra $10, $9 an hour to give a motherfucker? He just made us $500-$600 a pallet. You see what I'm saying? You putting out so much, you making them so much money. But it's like a lot of people don't realize that shit, and that shit ain't what you want to do forever, making somebody else rich. You want to put all that effort into your own shit. That's why I was telling my uncle, like, I know that sound crazy. He think I sound crazy, but I'm like, I'm putting all that work in for their job. Why I can't put all that work in for my own shit? You see what I'm saying? But that's all I'm saying. Like, don't let nobody else pick your path. Don't let nobody else, you feel me, write your shit out for you. Because a lot of people, y'all sitting in school like, damn, I don't even really want to be here. I just came here because somebody else wanted me to go here. You see what I'm saying? That's all I want to say.